What is good, boys? Welcome back to another video. So, an update on the R32. I know a lot of you have been asking, and to be honest, I could have filmed a hell of a lot more videos between the most recent one and now, but I have just decided to take a bit of a break because those of you that have tried to film things while you're working on cars before, you'll know that it just takes 10 times longer, and to be honest, I haven't had that much time. So I've basically been just getting into it any chance that I can, whether it's an hour, it's 2 hours, 5 hours, whatever it may be. There's just been a lot of little jobs that I've just been really wanting to get on with, and to be fair, I have been learning. So I didn't really know what I'm doing, and that's another reason not to film something, because when you try to film shit and you're just getting frustrated, then I feel like it amplifies the situation, and it makes you just want to bloody throw your phone or your camera across the room. So that's what's been happening. So you'll all be relatively up to speed with things, I guess, if you've watched the previous videos. But we have all the fabrication done now, and we have the motor in, we've got the box in. We actually have a drive shaft. I don't know if I've touched on that at all, but I managed to find a one-piece drive shaft for a R32 with a D22 Navara box for an RB. So very specific thing, I would have thought, but maybe it's not that specific anymore. So one of them popped up for cheap on good old Facebook Marketplace. I copped that. So our driveline is essentially good. And then now it's just a matter of plumbing things. So I decided to go down the very expensive route. Don't know if I'll do it again, but it's done now. And that is the good old AN fittings and stainless braid. So these are what we have here, obviously all in silver. No shit, I reckon I am probably about $1,000 deep in just AN fittings and lines at this point. Yeah, a little bit of an expensive road, but kind of had to be done. I just didn't want to do rubber hoses, even though it's got a little guy there, but we'll just ignore that. And I just did adapt onto the factory hard lines. So I haven't gone AN the whole way because I'm not going to be chasing crazy power, so I don't feel like I'm going to need to upgrade the lines to a bigger size or anything. We do have the water lines over here for the turbo. That is our block to the turbo, and then this one here is our turbo to the radiator. So I've got them, they're going to run somewhere in there, bloody down in there. We've got our wastegate all plumbed up. I've decided to hide the Mac valve as best I can. It's very tight in here with trying to get these rubber hoses on, and with our wastegate position, there's not much in there, but that'll be pretty crazy for passenger rides, I reckon, because you'll have the gate right at your feet. So that's all looking pretty good. We've got our plumbing, I want to say 90% done. I've literally just got to make up the rest of the lines and get them on. So I'm pretty chuffed with how that's all coming along, and that's all just going to finish itself as the rest of the car becomes assembled. So that's looking pretty good. Then the next piece that turned up were the guards. So I ordered these guards about 6 months ago, I think it would have been. Fair while to wait, but they were, or they are, Maxx Japan guards. They're genuine aero. Very hard to find aero for R32s, so I decided to get them on a container and do the long wait, because I knew that this thing wasn't going to be going for a while. So they turned up, so they're looking pretty good. You would have seen in the video there. They do have a bit of a funny thing about them that I'm not really into, but it's kind of whatever. So you can kind of see it in here. They do have this little guy, which is very racy, very sporty indeed. That's not actually mounted, but, and there is a piece of mesh that goes in there. So I don't know how I feel about it. I think it might be all right once it's all painted and everything's come up bloody flush. But yeah, this is basically what I'm talking about. You actually get a decent amount of, I guess you call that like a proper flare, where every other R32 guard on the market, especially the ones that you get in New Zealand, do not have that. So that was all good. They arrived, got them all fitted up, and then my good buddy Harry, my main man, who bought me motor as well, he made me a bumper. So it's a BN bumper. Again, you would have seen it on the car there. I don't know if this is a secret or not, if I'm supposed to be saying it, but he took a mold off a BN kit. Crazy man that he is. He bought an aero kit, a BN Sports genuine aero from Japan, whatever, and he took a mold off it. So bloody crazy business, but it fits up mint. So I had another one that I was shagging around with, absolute dog shit. It's about 50 mil too wide, like the overall bloody width of it, I think. I'm not too sure if it was a thing of the era or of recent times of companies that were making them. They were just absolutely balls it up. They're just absolute pieces of shit. I don't know why. I've heard of other people having problems with them too. I'm not going to mention any names, but luxury sports. But yeah, so we've got a good front kit on there now, and we've got the guards sorted, and we've pretty much got the aero sussed. I just need to paint it. So that's looking pretty sweet. And then once I had that all assembled and all sorted, I thought it was time to finally bite the bullet and do something I should have done a very long time ago, and that is buy a bloody standalone ECU. So this is what we came up with. So I decided to go for the Maxx ECU Race. Now this came with all the inputs and outputs that I felt was necessary for my application. It is Bluetooth, so hopefully I want to do something pretty fancy with the dash. That I want to try and run my dash in here, because this is a Bluetooth head unit, and try and get my display on there. But most importantly, this was just seemed like the best bang for buck, and with that you can get a whole kit, and it comes with a DIY harness, which pretty much leads me on to the next fun task that I have decided to undertake. Now this is a serious piece of kit. I couldn't recommend it enough. They literally do it all for you. They literally do all the work for you, aside actually doing the work. It comes with this epic pinout diagram of a pre-terminated harness at the plug end, and then you just use what you want out of that. So it's seriously, it's all there. Famous last words. I don't even know if it is actually going to work yet, but I'm relatively confident I've got my head around it. And then I just went through and labeled all the things that I'll need, and then we should be looking pretty bloody good. I literally could have made a whole video on just wiring this and making a harness, but I'm just not that guy, and there's a lot of people out there that have done it and actually know what they're doing, but I don't feel comfortable with making a how-to video on something that I'm not actually sure 100% about. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go check out a bunch of other people. Jimmy Oakes, obviously, the person that is like king YouTuber wirer dude, so he's done a bunch of that stuff. I've referenced a lot of his videos, and yeah, he just knows what he's doing, which is a great start. So always good when you're making a how-to video, know what you're doing. That's what we've got going on there. That's what we've got going on in here. There's so many fiddly little bits that I've still got to do, but I've slowly been ticking them off, and we're getting pretty close. So maybe later in this video you might see us trying to start this thing. Maybe not, I'm not too sure. But for now, I'm going to continue on to build this harness and see where we end up. Oh, fuck yeah, here we go, boys. Looking pretty good. We've just drained, I should say, filled the gearbox with oil. Never had to do it this way, but apparently it's a thing. Well, from the top, the old big box in the side there, so we've got that all sorted out. We've got a bloody timing light set up. This is all a bit janky, but we just got it fucking plumbed up for the minute. Hopefully, we're on the money. What do you reckon, Chanel?
I reckon we're good to go.
You reckon we're good to go, mate?
Yep.
Beautiful. What do you reckon, Big Tones?
Fuck, these are delicious.
Beauty.
Good? Yep, yeah, if you like.
That sounds bizarre, bro. I've never heard it sound like that. I wonder what the... It's just a different tone. Yeah. You know, like an RB20 or like an RB starter has a real distinct tone.
Yeah.
It's like a... Nearly sounds like nuts and bolts are rattling loose. It's like... But not in a bad way, I don't fucking know. This just sounds like... It sounds like an air starter, bro. You know, like an air starter, like a truck?
Yeah.
Like a...
It's probably... There's probably about 20 different things going on there. That it sounds like that.
Definitely.
It's not showing anything, which is probably not a good sign.
Look at that.
Does it look like it's got proper modulation when I'm fucking going slow?
Go like a little bit and then go full tip. Yeah, it's, yeah. Look at that.
That's half the problem.
Finally.
Boy.
Finally bloody figured out this throttle body bullshit.
That must just be an idle fucking sound then. I guess it's just correct.
Is that what it, I guess it just sits there at idle making that noise?
And I guess if I turn the key off,
it'll
should hopefully
turn off. Look at that.
And you can have it like that, so
Yeah.
it's on with the key on.
Yeah.
Which is, I suppose it wouldn't matter, but you can also have it so it only goes on when it's running.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, interesting.
Or if the throttle's over.
Far out. Oh well, second day in and we're having better luck so far.
The throttle just fucking spam it.
Alright, are we good?
We good? It's flashing pretty much bang on.
Is it?
Yeah.
So do you reckon?
I think it's mainly just that it's cranking really slow is why it's only...
Right there.
And then one thing is once you get it running in the then you can get it like bang.
Alright. Good?
Yep. The RPM's going all over the show.
Oh, so do you think
We'll
that's...
go through all the 20 seconds again.
Do you think that's to do with the clearances on the post. Nothing either, eh? And then we'll probably re-put the oh my god. Oh fuck, we were sorry Ruby. Holy fucking shit, boys. We fucking did it. Oh man, there's so much to talk about and there's so much to catch up on, but the nail in the coffin, after all this tomfoolery that's been going on for the last 3 sessions of trying to get this thing running, was that the timing was 360 degrees out. So I thought we had it bang on, turns out not. I rang someone that knew what they were doing. He's like, oh, just change it to 360. Just add 360 degrees on what you got it. Bang, fires up. So I think there was a little bit of an issue going on with these little sensor boys here too, but I managed to get them what I think was bang on after getting some proper little shim spaces there, some cast bracket spaces. So I think that was definitely contributing. But no shit, after all that, just come down here, thought I'd just have a bit of a fondle, thought it's got to be something basic, and what do you know, got it going. Holy, and straight to a 3K idle. Fucking woke up Riv, my son sleeping upstairs immediately. So that's all good. Dad's day anyway, so he get a taste of it. He get tasty. He'll be right. But yeah, so now we're just going through and trying to figure out how to turn the damn idle down, and we should have it running. But it sounds mint. Everything looked from the split second that it was running, everything looked to be fine. We haven't talked about this debacle at all, but basically these old Nissan ignition switches, ignition barrels, are known for shorting terminals out over time. I think that's basically what my gist of it is, and they cause a hell of a volt drop across the line, I guess, or I don't even fucking know. That thing's fucked anyway. So ended up wiring up this combination of doohickeys down here, and so we've now got accessory on and then a start switch. So that was a lot cheaper than a brand new ignition barrel, and I could do it myself, and it takes 2 seconds from the local electronics store. So that's what we've been fucking around with for the last wee while, and it works. So I guess we're just going to run that now. I'll put it back in the dash. I'll put the dash back in too. Probably haven't touched on that either. Went through and cut out everything nice. Good mate Harry got me a dash. So, well, he got me a dash. Had a spare dash floating around / sitting under his house. So we, I grabbed that a little while ago, and I've been meaning to put it back in. And I think everything else is money. Oh man, I don't even know what to speak. I don't even know what to speak. I don't even know what to say. I'm absolutely over the moon. Didn't sound like there was any exhaust leaks, although it's very hard to tell. The problem with having a small child in the house these days is that it really limits your time that you can twiddle with cars. So I'm not too sure if I'll even really be able to start it again today without pissing off old mate upstairs. Or until maybe the missus gets home, and then I'll piss her off too. But yeah, we'll see. Cross that bridge when we get to it. But buildy. Alright boys, so it's a few days on now since we've fucking got it fired up, and I sort of wanted to get the whole ignition system and the way that it starts kind of sorted. So that pretty much meant that I had to put the interior back in, which I wasn't too worried about anyway because it had to happen. But this is kind of the setup that we've got now. So touched on it earlier, but the ignition barrel, the terminals or the pins or whatever, something or other, was shorting out, causing a volt drop. So I've just bypassed all that shit, and I'll put it on a couple of switches. So it's literally one click is like accessory, 2 clicks on, and then engine start over there. So I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, just still trying to get my bloody head around this kind of shit, to be honest. Because to be honest, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, but it still idles really high, so I can't figure out what the go is there, but it idles at 1200 at a respectable idle limit for the neighborhood if I have the throttle body unplugged. So that's all good for now until I get the bro back around and he has a jam on it and sees what he can fucking do. And I'm trying to get the oil pressure to come up in the and these little figures down here, but can't figure that out yet either. So, you know, it's all learning, but I'll give it a fire up. But I think everyone's pretty well fucked off for the Christmas season now anyway, so that's all good. So we've literally got go, that's kind of on, and then oh, you can't really see shit, but you get the gist. And that brings up all the accessories, and then we go fucking and what have you down there. Fuel pressure, coolant, still doesn't have a rad hooked up, but that's alright. Got an RPM, idle, blah blah blah. Gosh, it's sounding pretty good. You can obviously give it a quick blip with you. Man, like a bought one. Beautiful. Shut her off. So that's her, fellas. Man, she has been a bloody saga to say the least. Fuck, it's been a journey, but yeah, we got there eventually. Hell of a lot of learning going down from building the loom to getting it going to learning this shit to just everything, you know. So I think we're going to leave this one here, and in the next one I think I'll get the radiator hooked up, and then we'll get this throttle all bloody sorted out, get the yeah, obviously get it all plumbed up with the water and the rad and everything, all that shit all back on there, and we might even be able to take it for a rip. And we also have the last piece of the puzzle has turned up too, so that's pretty much the last thing that we need before we're going to take it to the tuners. Still not going to be for probably another couple of months, but if you follow me on Instagram you'll know what I'm talking about. But should make it pretty spicy, and that should be the contributing factor to how this thing is going to make some jam, hopefully. So anywho boys, cheers for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.